Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah.
A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Honest J. Nowak, Mark of the Line, and well, I've got tons of work here to do when it comes to my content, and yeah, I'm feeling terminally ill, but this is the kind of dedication I tend to do here, so moving on to, as I've said before, I'm going to cover at least one more German-based automotive manufacturer out there, and this is my next choice right here. Mini. Alright. So first of all, if you've already noticed the fact that I've actually talked a bit about Fiat already, then well, let's just say that Mini pretty much follows the same exact sort of procedure. They basically have themselves a limited amount of models and a limited amount of creativity value. That, or it's basically just their trademark. And that of which I can pretty much admire from a distance, for the most part. I would not necessarily say that it's probably the best automotive marque in the industry at the time, but regardless of which, I will point out that Mini certainly does have a good catalog of models, starting way back with the Cooper S, the Cooper S Challenge, the Cooper S Countryman, and the Clubman, pretty much, just to name several. But of course, Mini is without doubt a bit low on some things out there, mostly because of the fact that its trademark of making smaller sized cars, which probably it does in fact relate to how it got its name, Mini. It would make sense, from my own perspective at least. So for the most part, we can at least agree on the fact that their name certainly does have a big point given in their side of the argument, and at the same time, this also does allow for us to delve deeper into the kind of storyline that it basically tells us. Whereas when you compare it to someone else like Ford, Chevrolet, Mercedes-Benz, and Lexus, brands like those are specifically much bigger because of how much variety they have in terms of vehicle options and accessories and color schemes and the like. Mini does sure attempt to give us different styles and cues and the like, while also keeping their trademark design pretty much the same. I don't really see if that's going to change, but in case it does, I guess we're bound to find out. But this also kind of leads me to the point that I probably can't really talk too much about it anymore. That's just kind of the way that it is. Because Mini is pretty simple as far as car marques go. I've pointed out about Fiat and its limited amount of models because both of these companies, in spite of the fact that they're both from different countries, they're both from different provinces, and they both have different stylings as a whole, they do both follow the similar sort of path, of which that leads to only one design in particular that tends to bring out a bit more quality over quantity. And while that's a pretty wise move for some companies, that's not always going to be successful. A lot of people happen to prefer variety over just one typical thing out there, just so they can probably get their money's worth if they do want to give them a chance. So, all in all, Mini is pretty good at what it does, making small-sized cars at decent price tags, and also giving out a good amount of accessories, color schemes, and also options of all the sorts that could be available to the marketplace. And that's pretty much what I'd like to see and hear. So now, I guess that's probably going to cover it all for today. But I am going to have at least a few other things here and there, but I'm also going to have to, well, probably get some rest before like all this comical nonsense pretty much comes to an end. So if you want to see more go down on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.